Well, hi there, Internet. My name's Court, and you've got courtside seats for my review of Winchester. Let's do it. Winchester is a supernatural horror film from directors Michael and Peter Spierig, Lionsgate, and CBS Films. The movie stars Helen Mirren, Jason Clarke, Snook, Eamon Farren, and Finn Scicluna-O'Prey. Sarah Winchester is the widow of famed gun manufacturer William Winchester. Her husband's sudden death and the previous death of her child have left her in severe grief. The heiress is convinced she is cursed by the ghosts of those who died at the hands of Winchester firearms. After seeking advice from a medium, Winchester begins building an enormous, seemingly never-ending mansion to keep the spirits at bay. I didn't have particularly high hopes for this movie, having seen the trailer and not liking it that much, and it's probably for the best. I was hoping it would be more than just a haunted house movie, maybe something with a more psychological bent, but not really. Let's talk about the good first. The acting in this movie is pretty darn good. Helen Mirren is really good, because she's Helen Mirren. Jason Clarke and Snook also do the best they can with the material that's given to them, and I will say that the acting is the standout aspect of this film. Unfortunately, it's not enough to save it. The sound design in this movie is also really, really good. Even though it's creepy, I've always enjoyed the sound of creaking wood. Love it. And the sounds of creaking wood in this movie sound amazing. I haven't heard that good creaking wood since Game of Thrones. Please come back to us, Game of Thrones. We miss you. The production design in this film is also really solid. Apparently they had to shoot all the interiors of this mansion, which does exist, it's a real place. They had to shoot it all on sound stages because the actual house is very tight and cramped, and to get lights and cameras and all that in there would have been impossible. The house does look very good, it does look very creepy. I also really like the color palette of this movie. At times it's very warm with the wood, paneling, all of that, but then dark things happen and the colors changed, it gets very cold, and that worked for me very nicely. Now let's talk about the bad. For a horror movie, this movie commits the two cardinal sins. First one being, it's not scary. There's not a single genuine scare in the entire film. There's nothing but jump scares, and I'm so tired of horror movies that are just jump scares. Bad Hollywood. Stop that, Hollywood. Listen, I'm not anti-jump scare. I've said this in other reviews. I'm not against jump scares. They have their place. However, if you're a director and you're making a horror film and all you have are jump scares, you have no business making a horror film. Now, I don't believe in ghosts. Some people do. I do not. That doesn't mean I can't buy them in a movie. This movie, unfortunately, just didn't get me there. So at no point was I ever scared. I was startled a bunch of times, but startling people is not that you gotta, it's easy. I just did it. It's cheap. The other cardinal sin for a horror movie that this movie committed was that it was boring. It's very slow, which is fine. Slow is okay, particularly if you're building to something major, but this movie kind of doesn't, and the ending that we do get doesn't feel earned. I didn't buy into it. The movie's only an hour and 40 minutes, and it felt like 2.5. I think this film would have been more interesting if it had gone the psychological thriller route. Old lady she believes very much that there are these spirits and she's losing her mind, and there were elements of that, but not really. This was a straight up haunted house, ghost, horror movie, and I wish they'd gone in a different direction. All in all, this film isn't terrible, which is why I'm not tearing it apart the way I tore apart The Open House, which I'll link up there for the review to that, but it delivers on so few levels that it's just incredibly forgettable in every way. Now, I don't have a proprietary rating system as of yet, so I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to give Winchester. And I think I'm going to give Winchester a...
Take Carl, go to Mum's, kill Phil, sorry, grab Liz, go to the Winchester, have a nice cold pint, and wait for all this to blow over.
Out of 10. So now I want to know, have you seen Winchester? What did you think about it? What's your favorite haunted house movie of all time? Whatever your thoughts, hit the comments below. Let's discuss. If you enjoyed this review, please smash that like button and give it a share if you really enjoyed it. And hey, why not take a second, do me a favor, subscribe to this channel for more movie reviews, entertainment news, trailer reactions, all that good stuff. You can do so by clicking the Courtshake logo at the bottom right of your screen. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.